In today's video, 8 tips for navigating your own mental capacity as an instructional coach. As coaches, we work so hard to support others that we can often forget how important it is to take care of ourselves too. This is a special collaborative episode with Diana Beabout because both of us have had an extra challenging year. And when we were recently chatting about how we've managed being at our own max capacity all year, we realized that some of our strategies might be helpful for you too. So if you're feeling stretched thin or you're hoping to prevent that feeling, please keep watching for our 8 tips today. Hello, coaches. Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Quick Tips. My name is Kim Gaffino, and I've worked with hundreds of teachers, coaches, and leaders in schools around the world to help them create thriving and sustainable instructional coaching programs. And I'm on a mission to help you coach better. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. Come learn with me in one of our courses or private mentoring packages designed specifically for instructional coaches. Join our global Coach Better community, ask any questions you'd like to hear us answer, and find all of our resources for instructional coaches on our website at coachbetter.tv. You can also find us on social media at Eduro Learning or at our Coach Better Facebook group, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube to catch all of our latest videos. If you're not sure where to start, take our free quiz to get a tailored list of resources delivered straight to you and designed specifically for your level of coaching experience. Find the quiz at coachbetter.tv/quiz. Okay, let's jump into today's episode. So Diana and I have had a really challenging spring. I have been navigating some complicated family health issues as my parents are getting older, and that has been hugely stressful to manage from Thailand. At the same time, my own work through Eduro Learning has been extremely busy this year, which is great, but it means I'm already stretched way too thin.
And I've had some close relatives pass away and been traveling to family gatherings. And in addition to the work I do with Kim and Eduro and ACES, which I love, I am an English language support specialist, which I also love, at a high school with a large number of immigrant teens. And recent events have put a lot of stress on my students and families, which also affects me.
And both of us, as Diana just mentioned, have been working really hard to support the development of our new nonprofit organization, the Association for the Advancement of Instructional Coaching in International Schools, which we call ACES. On one of our recent calls, we talked about how it feels to be at max capacity and for an extended time. We both feel a little bit like we're underwater, and things that used to feel manageable and easy are feeling like too much. We know we're not alone in this, and we also know that this feeling is very common among coaches. So we wanted to share some strategies that have been helpful for us with you.
It's so important to recognize that we can't do everything all the time, all at once. When your cup is full, you simply can't pour more in. And that means taking a step back, taking a breath, and taking a hard look at what is going on. So Kim and I talk through different ways we coach and advise others to manage stress and challenges. And that's what we're going to be sharing today.
As coaches, it's in our nature to want to help everyone and to put them first and ourselves last. But as Cindy Tisdale McPhee said on a very early episode of this podcast, for coaches to be present for others, they must take care of themselves first.
So here are a few strategies that have worked for us in this very stressful spring. We'd love to hear your suggestions and strategies too. So please leave a comment below with one of your tips. Or if you try any of these and find them helpful for yourself, please let us know in the comments as well.
So our first strategy is to revisit your own boundaries. As coaches, we know how important it is to have clear boundaries, to know what we're able to do, what's within our scope of practice, and what is beyond our time and energy. When we're feeling extra stressed, we may need to revisit those boundaries. More often than not, those are our own boundaries that we set for ourselves. It can be very challenging for coaches who naturally want to help and support others, and we can find ourselves bending our own boundaries to support those other people. If or when we find ourselves stretched too thin, it might be worth coming back to and revisiting our own boundaries and reminding ourselves that we need to prioritize our own health and well-being before we can help others, like putting on your own oxygen mask in the airplane before you help someone else.
Number 2, express yourself. Sometimes it just really helps to talk it out. Whether it's a trusted colleague, a friend, or even a family member, Taking time to talk through whatever is putting you over the edge can be a valuable way to sort out your feelings. Let go of some of the ongoing stress and just being heard and listened to. My sister and I actually use a coaching strategy when one of us brings up something that is stressing us out or bothering us. Whoever's listening will ask, do you just need to share and get it out, or do you want some input? This has helped us not just jump in and try to help and solve the issue. Sometimes it can be enough just to get what's bothering us out in the open. Other times it can lead to a more in-depth coaching session, even with your sister. Yes, coaching strategies work with your siblings and friends as well.
Absolutely. Strategy number 3 is strategizing. Fully understanding what it is that is stressing you out and getting yourself organized and ready with the strategy can really help address feelings of overwhelm. I actually did this last week when I was just feeling like I was completely overwhelmed by my to-do list. I could not manage it anymore. Sometimes all the things that you have going on are just rolling around in your brain, taking up active thinking space. Because of my background as a tech coach, I always think of this as my RAM. My random access memory is full and I can't process anything else. So when you have so many things taking up that space in your brain, it's really hard to figure out what you need to do right now. So for me, it really helps to write things down. A few times a year, I max out on all of my things, and I know I need to have a post-it party to get them all out of my brain. That's what I did last week. If you want to have a post-it party too, here's how it works. I take out several pads of different color sticky notes. I write down each individual thing that I'm thinking about on a separate note. And if I can manage to, I try to color code those notes as I'm going through the list. Once I've got all of my things on all the notes out, I group like tasks together into piles. And what happened last week, this happens to me all the time, I realized that I have many similar tasks taking up lots of space in my brain when it's really just one thing I could sit down and do for like an hour and get all those things done. So realizing you can put many things together into one pile can be super helpful. Then you can move all those consolidated piles of stickies around into order of priority, and then identify what really needs to be done first and start setting aside things that are less urgent or important. If you have the capacity, you can use the 4D model to get everything organized. You can put in a column things that you need to do, and you can then organize them in order of importance. What can you delegate? Or maybe for coaches, that would be share the workload with someone else on the team. What can you delay until later? And what can be deleted? Those are obviously the best. Lots of times I realize I have had things on my to-do list for long enough that actually I just really don't need to do those things, and I can just get rid of them. So having all of the many, many things that are going on in your brain in some kind of priority order can create a huge amount of mental space. Something I realized last week when I was doing this, so I'm saying this aloud for myself as well. If you can schedule to do this on a regular basis, so like monthly or quarterly or whatever rhythm works for you, you might find that you tend to get less overwhelmed instead of like me waiting until that one part of the year where you're just overwhelmed with everything and you have to do it right now.
Strategy number 4, ask for help. It's so important to have someone you can ask for an outside perspective to help provide you with a different way to approach an issue or challenge. Coaches need coaches. This can be so hard for those of us who are always there for others, but expect to handle our own challenges ourselves. I am so guilty of this. It can be hard to ask for help, but when we need to get out of our own heads sometimes to take a practical look at what is going on and what that means, we need to ask for some help getting that perspective and then accomplishing our goals. As a team member for ACEs, I know I can have a hard time delegating, right, Kim? But I occasionally need to take a step back and remember that just like I would step up to help others, I have amazing colleagues and teammates who just need me to ask, and they will help carry the load.
Absolutely. Number 5 is find a creative outlet, something that works for you. Whenever we're feeling overwhelmed and stressed, especially when it's more than we can handle, having an alternate outlet for our thinking can help us not only relax, but allow our brains to process what's been going on without directly thinking about it. I feel like that is so amazing. I don't really understand how or why it happens, but I feel it in myself and it's super cool. So often something we would typically label as art can be helpful in this space. Something artistic or crafty that allows you to not only express yourself, let your mind wander, but also involve some kind of movement or action can be especially helpful. This spring, I've discovered that having an actual activity and a creative outlet allows my brain to focus on something completely different. and feel a sense of accomplishment when I finish whatever I'm working on. I'm currently enjoying journaling. I went from 0 journals in December to now I have a daily journal, a hobbies and habits journal, a book journal, and a junk journal. And I brought them over here to show you. Can't really see my pile of journals. And I also have started to enjoy doodling and watercolor. All of those things are completely new to me this year, but they are the perfect kind of calming activity for me that lets my brain focus on something else so I can spend enjoyable time and feel a sense of growth and accomplishment and discovery every time I create something new. Your creative outlet might be different than mine, but something that allows you to get energy from your own creativity is a great way to reset and take a mental break.
Strategy number 6, let things go. As Kim mentioned earlier with the 4D process, sometimes it's okay to delete things. Okay. Being okay with letting things go. Does this have to happen now, or can I let it go? Especially when things get overwhelming. It's okay to prioritize and focus on what is most important to you personally and professionally. And sometimes that means that some things will need to be set aside for now or even dropped from your to-do list. Recognize what you do and do not have control over and what's within your own sphere of control. I know many of us just want to take on whatever comes our way, but that is not feasible. We need to be realistic about what and where we can have impact and put our time and energy there. And I'm saying this just as much for myself as I am for all of you.
Another strategy, number 7, is getting in some movement. When we're feeling mentally stuck, one of the best ways to get unstuck is to physically move. This could be as simple as going for a short walk outside, or even just walking over to a window or a balcony to get some fresh air. It can be doing something more physical, like going to the gym or a yoga class or another kind of fitness activity. Or it could just be finding a hobby that allows you to move your body in a new way and maybe even make some new friends while you are doing it. If you've been around this channel for a while, you know that I compete in a sport called powerlifting, where we work towards finding our max strength in a single rep of squat, bench, and deadlift. There are so many days when I don't feel like I have the time or mental space to train. But as soon as I start lifting, I know that I made the right choice. Movement and doing something completely different is a great way to get out of your own head and refocus on your physical well-being. If you can make time for movement, even just a little bit every single day, you will likely start feeling even better physically and also mentally too.
And if you can, what I've been doing the last 6 months is, come on, Bo, come, is hanging out with my dog. This is Bo.
Hey, look at that cutie.
Okay. And we'll take a walk later. Okay. There's no one right way to manage stress and challenges, but hopefully some of these ideas have given you a pathway forward and a reminder that you're not alone.
To recap, we shared you could start by revisiting your boundaries, find a friend, colleague, or family member to express yourself, do a post-it party to get strategizing, ask for help, make sure you have a coach as a coach, find a creative outlet, look for opportunities to let things go, find opportunities to put movement into your day, and if you are so lucky, hang out with your dog. If this kind of support is something you might find valuable in your practice as a coach or even as an educator or leader, this is also part of the work that Diana and I do with our clients in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program and in our private mentoring packages for coaches and educators. We're here to support you too. So if that sounds interesting, stay tuned and I'll tell you a little bit more about the services we have for you. Thanks for staying with us through this episode today. If you are thinking this might be an area where you could use some support, we are here to help. Navigating a stressful and challenging job like instructional coaching is not easy. That's why we include this concept of self-care, time management, and prioritization in all of our courses for coaches at the level that's just right for your experience. Each of our global cohorts will help you take the next step in your coaching practice. As an educator or a leader ready to learn about a coaching mindset in the course Cultivating a Coaching Mindset, or as a brand new or aspiring coach in the course Getting Started as an Instructional Coach, or as a current coach or educator ready to build a thriving coaching program in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program, or as an experienced coach who is ready to lead in our course Coaches as Leaders. Find all the details about all of our courses for coaches at coachbetter.tv/learn. Global cohorts open once a year. If you're not sure where to start or which course is right for you, watch one of our free workshops. Those are all designed for your experience level, so you can choose the one that matches best with your own experience. Find them all at coachbetter.tv/learn. If you're curious right now or you have questions, please reach out. You can leave a comment down below or a comment on our show notes. You can join our Coach Better Facebook group, or you can find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. I'd love to support you on your coaching journey. See you next time.